Did you know? Nights into Dreams was first conceived during the production of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Sonic 2 was developed by Sonic Team in conjunction with Sega Technical Institute, which was located in San Francisco. As a result, the game's lead programmer Yuji Naka had to travel back and forth between Japan and America. While he waited for his plane to take off on a return trip to Japan, Naka was struck with the idea of creating a game centered around flight. Sonic's character designer Naoto Oshima was enthusiastic about the idea and saw it as a way for Sonic Team to break new ground. That said, Sonic Team were unsure how to design a platform action game where the main character could simply fly over the platforms. Tackling this problem required a trial and error approach, which led to many ideas being rejected. One scrapped idea centered around the protagonist being a little bird that was unable to fly, but would grow and gain the power of flight as the game progressed. The idea was ultimately scrapped, as an animal protagonist could have drawn close comparisons to Sonic. In the end, a humanoid design was chosen to distance this new game from the Sonic series. Sonic Team eventually focused on the idea of a game set in a dream world and wanted to create a world that reflected the experience of dreaming. The team researched dreams and a deep psyche. Takashi Iizuka's research was particularly thorough to the point that his colleagues started asking him to analyze their dreams. According to Iizuka, Nights represents what is known in Jungian psychology as the shadow. To heavily simplify, the shadow is an aspect of a person's character that they aren't consciously aware of. While this is often a negative aspect that is repressed, it represents unrecognized positive traits as well. Yuji Naka also claimed that the characters Clarice and Elliot were based on Jung's theory of anima and animus, an inner feminine personality for men and an inner masculine personality for women. Another interesting point is that Iizuka's favorite aspect about Nights was that fans might be able to meet the game's characters for themselves in their own dreams. Sonic Team wanted Nights to feel equally accessible to all players. The character Nights was made genderless so that the player could create their own impression of what gender Nights was. According to Naoto Oshima, Nights themselves was inspired by Peter Pan. Both characters are capable of extraordinary feats that humans could only dream of. Oshima wanted to create juxtaposition with two gameplay styles, one where you play as a regular human and one where you play as Nights to accomplish these feats. Yuji Naka has also cited the Cirque du Soleil show Mystère as his biggest source of inspiration when it came to designing Nights. Nights was also designed to appear more European. This was an effort to differentiate it from Sonic the Hedgehog's more American style. The European aspects of Nights are further emphasized in the sequel Journey of Dreams, where the characters are given British accents and live in a city that resembles London. Nights in the Dreams didn't have voice acting in the traditional sense, but some characters talk in an unrecognizable language. This choice was made to reinforce the idea that the game takes place in a dream, where language is distorted and alien. This dream language was made by Takashi Iizuka and has real-world translations. One of the best demonstrations of this takes place when Nights encounters their arch-rival Riala, who exclaims, "There is no night." According to Yuji Naka, Riala is saying, "Come on, Nights." Sonic Team didn't have any soundproof recording facilities during production, so dialogue was recorded late at night once everyone had left the offices. The movement of Nights was supposed to feel smooth and graceful, and Sonic Team felt the Saturn's D-pad was too limited to capture the motions of the character. In response to this, Sega developed a new joypad specifically built with Nights in mind and bundled it with the game upon its release. Dubbed the 3D Control Pad, this new controller featured an analog stick that gave the player full 360-degree control over Nights. The controller also had analog triggers, which were a novelty for home console controllers at the time. At one point, director Steven Spielberg visited the Sonic Team studio and was the first person outside of the company to play Nights into Dreams using the prototype 3D control pad. As an in-joke, Sonic Team christened the pad the Spielberg controller and referred to it as such for the entirety of development. During the holiday season of 1996, Sega released a promotional build of the game titled Christmas Nights into Dreams. This sample included the first level of the retail release, which would undergo seasonal reskins depending on the time of year. For example, during Christmas, the characters don Santa outfits, and on April Fool's Day, Nights is replaced by Riala. This was all done according to the Saturn's internal clock. Christmas Nights also included an unlockable karaoke mode, as well as a mode called Sonic the Hedgehog into Dreams. In this mode, the player has the opportunity to run around the game as Sonic. This actually marked the first time that Sonic was playable in a fully 3D environment on home console, predating Sonic Jam by half a year. The Nightopians that can be found in almost every level have their own AI, dubbed Artificial Life, or A-Life, by Sega. The Nightopian's mood, as well as the overall mood of the level, is affected by the player's actions. Breeding and hatching more Nightopians results in the level feeling more upbeat, whereas killing them makes the level more dismal. A-Life would go on to be used as the basis for Chow in the Sonic Adventure titles. The characters from NiGHTS have made numerous cameos and appearances in other Sonic Team developed titles, including both Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, Phantasy Star Online, and Feel the Magic XYXX. NiGHTS was also playable in Sonic Riders and its sequel. NiGHTS and Riala even made a brief cameo in the 1997 Australian film Pause. The main character Nathan has a poster of them hanging on his wall. Although NiGHTS wouldn't see a true sequel until 2007's Journey of Dreams, a sequel was planned for the Dreamcast. The project went under the working title Air NiGHTS. During a 2007 interview, Iizuka revealed Sega had been experimenting with motion controls on their consoles. Air NiGHTS was a prototype game to test that technology. When nothing came of the idea, development stopped. In a 1999 interview with official Dreamcast magazine, Naka mentioned how fans were very interested in a sequel. This included a certain high-profile game developer. Naka said, "I was asked about this by many fans during this year's E3. Even Nintendo's Mr. Miyamoto asked me if I was making it." Don't forget to subscribe to DidYouKnowGaming for more facts and trivia. If you like this video, consider giving it a like or a share, and if you're a fan of Sega, check out the DidYouKnowGaming video on the Sega Dreamcast. As for me, what's up everybody, I'm DiGi Valentine, nice to meet you. Over on my channel, I review video game characters for my show called Who Dat, and I spend a bit of time breaking down their visual designs and personalities. I recently did an episode on Tracer from Overwatch, so if that sounds interesting to you, then consider swinging by and checking that out too. Cheers everybody.